I don't think anyone could have said enough synonyms until we got into the land of dawn. But we have the one, the only Trex on the casting desk. You gotta love it. Kind of looking at what we got here. This Phoveus mid, mind-blowing, is risky for RCC to pull this out, but could be what they need. Now, kind of looking at some of these win conditions here, RCC is definitely going to have to just farm the mid as much as possible, right? They're going to have to... Is that the crowd?
I was wondering, what is that white noise in the background? Is that the crowd? Uh-oh, Wiser, though. Not looking any wiser. Might take a hit. No, down he goes. Keyboy gets there just to secure it, and the crowd goes silent. No, they don't.
They are not giving up. I'm like over here trying to create some win conditions, and the crowd's like, who cares about your win conditions? Let's hype up RCC. Let's go. And we got the power-ups already happening here from both sides. Keyboy taunting RCC.
I like it. I like it. So you were talking about win conditions. What do we see here? Who's got the early game? Who's got the mid? Who's got the late?
So if we're looking at what's going down, RCC, again, I feel like this Phoveus is going to be the riskiest take that we have here. Of course, it's going to shine into the mid to the late game against Onic, but they're going to be missing that mage, that control, and I think that could be a problem. We see a Violet come in.
Oh, a lot of damage comes on a Castle. Castle taken out. That's 2-0 for the side of Onic. The rotations are getting heavy.
Yeah, it looks like RCC, again, kind of building back off of what I was saying, they have to wait into this mid to the late game, right? They have the Tigreal, so they have the implosions, they have the team fight capability, but Onic has the pressure. They have the grit, and you can already see.
Oh, the pin. One shot, forced to back off. Troublemaker comes in with the demonic force, able to dunk on top of Boots, move on to Kyrie, but now he's in between four members. He's stuck. Can he find a way out? Taking a little bit of damage. They do move on to Boots. Boots still okay, though. Able to flicker away. The Violent Requiem locks onto Castle. Castle goes down. Kyrie picking up the kill. Troublemaker, though, in trouble, too. They're not going to let him go. Keyboy with 1 health isn't scared, locks him up, and Boots puts the kill into his pocket.
4-0 at this point. Right now, Sans just powering up. Again, Onic, they're really aggressive right now. 4-0. We can already see the crossbow being picked up by Albert. That's just going to give them more attack speed. And they don't even need to buy boots. That's why Wanwan's so great. And also, not only that, RCC has 2 tank heroes, right? You have the Kai, you have the Tigreal. So, again, RCC is going to have to rely on making sets and making plays against a team like Onic. Here we go. This is what we wanted.
Nice pin on the Keyboy there. Should be able to get the kill. Finally putting a kill on the map. But in comes Kyrie. Gets the knockup onto 3 members, and they're all melted down and taken out. Boots able to get the double, and Sans picks up 1 as well. Just when RCC thought they had him, Onic hits him back.
Boots is on fire! Just absolutely destroying it at this point. You can see the Lapu Lapu shining in this game. It's just, man, Onic, they're well calculated at this point. Again, RCC, they were doing what I told that they needed to do, right? They needed to get picks. They needed to get plays. We can see it right here. The heavy spin into the wall. But the Violent Requiem. And then the Lapu Boots coming out of nowhere. Just taking care of RCC.
Oh, Wiser might just be next. I mean, he didn't have to do all that. Boots didn't even need to do that. That was overkill. Like, listen, I got this. Boom. Let's come in, and now the choke point at the top. Wiser once again taken out. Nice implosion, though. Going to try to get the push back. Able to take out Albert. Keyboy might just be next. Troublemaker up here. We got a slugfest here in the games of future. Troublemaker in trouble, though, under the tower. Back and forth he goes, but he's going to get stunned up and taken out. Boots getting the final punch in.
Where is Boots coming from? Is it the EXP lane all the way to the right? Like, he's just bringing shockwaves into RCC's comp at this point. Every time you would see an engage, he is there. His presence presence is just uncontested, and we're seeing the turtle going to RCC. It's a good take here, right? Economically, we do see that Onic is controlling the board, but RCC is clapping back in some key areas.
They're not just controlling the board economically, they're controlling the board on the map. This jungle is theirs now. Onic, Sans, and Keyboy are the captains of this ship.
Oh, God.
They do wait, though. Boots walks into the tri-bush, almost gets locked up there. They're able to fend him back, send him back to base. RCC at this point needs to buy some time. They got to get Troublemaker to where he needs to be. They got to get Wiser to where he needs to be. And he's 2 kills behind, and that's not what you want to see at 5 minutes in.
Kyrie over here trying to make some plays, but in the bot lane!
On the bot lane, Troublemaker comes in, but a crossbow goes off. Locks onto Castle, takes him out. Troublemaker keeps on fighting, pushes the demonic force, looking for one more hit, but can't find it because Sans locks him down. In the mid side as well, Kyrie just all over the place. Onic giving no time to breathe.
Onic is letting the dog out at this point. You said RCC needed to. Onic's bringing the pain right now. RCC, they just need to. I think they're putting too much onto the gas pedal right now.
Yeah, they need to slow down. You're up against Onic, one of the most aggressive teams in the world. And Kyrie's showing why under the tower, willing to take the death just for the kill. Looking rough for RCC, but that is a little bit of a win. I mean, at this point, when you're this far behind, a trade is not bad, especially if it's on the enemy jungler.
It is true, and we can kind of see something a little bit different here, picking up by Sans, right? They're building the anti-heal already, the Necklace of Durance, just to counter quite a bit of their team. I think it's to counter Troublemaker, the shield that he gets, as well as Castle's sustainability. So they're already planning against RCC. It is 12-3 in 7 minutes. Right now, I like the takes, right? RCC attempting to take the bottom lane, take that tower, take as much as you possibly can from Onic at this point. It's still only the second turtle, if I'm not mistaken. So you still got a Lord. You got to find a place to fight. Look at Boots on the hunt, on the prowl for RCC.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real though. RCC does have big set potential, big play potential. They could pull off something crazy and try to turn this around. And this is what I keep saying. This is what differentiates the boys from the men. When you're 3, 4, 5K behind, can you make the play that matters? It's really going to come down to QP here. Can he get the set of his life?
It is true. And we've seen that in previous games. One implosion can make it or break it. But one thing that I got to point out is that Onic, they're not really sticking together. They understand that there's a heavy spin on the board. They understand that there's an implosion on the board. And also, they have the final slash from Castle, right? So there's a lot of team control, though they're looking like they're going to stack up here to possibly take this top tower. What do they go for here?
RCC just playing defensive bout right now, kind of following them around, which normally I would say it'd be good to make your own plays on the board. But when you're this far behind, you're just trying to staunch the blood. You're just trying to stop them from taking more. And if that means kind of following them, huddling up under your towers, that's okay because they need to buy time.
It's all a strategic play. It's kind of like a little bit like chess, right? If you can keep your presence on the board, get your vision, and then, like you just said, kind of corral them. If they're corralling themselves to try to attack, just do the opposite. But if you keep it under the tower, then you have it's like 6 against 5, right? And the tower hits harder. And again, we have 13 seconds to the next Lord. This goes to show that we can see RCC is attempting to set the board, right? Onic, I like it. This is what we see from a lot of teams, to stay mid, to control the pressure of the mid lane, and then take the Lord and collapse in on a team when you bait them. Does RCC take this little bait from Onic?
You know, you mentioned anti-lifesteal earlier. We got the Necklace of Durance from Sans, and now we got the Sea Halberd from Albert as well. Albert wants Troublemaker to come in there. Albert wants Troublemaker to dive towards him so he can pop his second skill, CC away, you know, get the nullification, and then get the angle to pop the ultimate. And by then, he's already weakened you enough to where he can get the kill. So RCC needs to be careful about how they engage this. Albert had 3 items locked in already, had like a 1,200 gold lead over Weiser. It's going to be a while until Weiser can even output any major damage in this game.
That is true. So Weiser's going to definitely have to be on the back foot, right? And again, Carry's definitely that late game hero. So RCC looking to go the long haul. They need to try whatever they can. Do we see possibly a conceal play and do something here? But you can see the mid being controlled. Onic kind of baiting the Lord at this point. This could be a good response. If they can take Sans, they might have a little bit of a play. The displacement.
Steal play, because they got to go for the top lane. Sans is taking his way up to the top side as RCC tries to encroach onto the bottom. Albert taking a lot of damage. They don't give him any space to breathe. But wait, no, he makes it. He gets up to the top, flies to the sky, and gets a kill, but he's finally taken out. Troublemaker able to take him. Castle and Albert off the field, and the next fall is Weiser. But Troublemaker still causing trouble, making mayhem. Kyrie on the run, but Troublemaker doesn't want to let him get away. QP taken out from Sans, though. Sans is making it back to the fight. Onic is re-engaging. Troublemaker in trouble once again. Kyrie forced to flicker back, but the rest of the team is there to finish the job that he started. Troublemaker gone. Nothing but one shot on the map. It's a 4-for-1 trade in the favor of Onic.
That, man, Albert able to get that crossbow and hang off just in time. Like 1 HP.
I know.
And
I thought
then,
he was gone.
So did I. He was gone. He was gone. He's in the sky. Watch it here. It was literally 1 HP, and then bam!
Ooh.
Albert online. Crossbow Tang engaged. RCC now on the run, and Kyrie being chased here, just putting the pressure on to RCC, and then look. The team came behind Kyrie, Onic not leaving a man behind. Whew.
They turned that, and for a second it felt like RCC could take that fight, could take that win if they could have just got the kill onto Albert, but those are shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and it's only close and horseshoes and hand grenades. This is Mobile Legends right here. You can't have close calls. You got to be able to finish the job, and RCC wasn't able to do it, and that's what Onic is here to do now.
Yeah, and Onyx 16-4. They're looking to take out as much as they possibly can with this Lord, and you can already see it. If they're able to take out some of these tier 3 inhibitors that are left standing on the base, it's going to be a huge play, and they've utilized this Lord to the fullest. Now RCC looking like they're mounting a great defense. Again, we're getting into the 13-minute mark. Could be a little bit of a tide turner. We've seen one tick and implosion turn the tides on a Lord push like this.
A nice knock up onto the back line. Going to send Castle back to the fountain to get some health. One shot. Going to try to zone things away. The Lord still at 50% health. Onic changing route, moving up to the top side. They're not going to try to fully engage in. They just came here for inhibitors. It's first Lord, and that is a good push in my book. Onic could stop here if they wanted to, but they're still keeping it aggressive. They're holding a lead of about 8,000 gold. They can do this if they want, as long as they're careful for QP.
Yeah, and I think we'll see if they possibly engage. They're peeling.
I'm offended on a one shot. One shot gets pulled up. Troublemaker into the backside once again with the demonic force, trying to lock onto Boots. Boots unfazed, gets the stun on the Troublemaker himself. While this is happening, Kyrie up in the top side takes an inhibitor. Castle tries to lock onto him as Troublemaker still causes mayhem in the mid side. Locking onto Boots, but now he's alone. He's left QP on his own. QP there to back up. Onic got what they came for. All they lost was Albert.
I mean, that's a good go. First Lord, 2 inhibitors down, mid lane inhibitor almost down, like halfway HP, like crazy. I mean, Onic looking really good.
Out of that orange buff too. Pops the emote as he's walking away. Disgusting, man.
No, it's like that cherry on top. They're just doing them dirty. RCC, what they really need to do, they're doing decent. They had an implosion, but Onic just replied so well. And again, I do think that they're being baited out of their base at this point. Onic is like kind of slowly freezing lanes, keeping them at bay. 8 seconds to the next Lord, which is why that we see RCC. They know this is make it or break it for them right here in round 1. They have to contest this Lord. Somehow, some way, do something.
Watch for Keyboy here. Watch for Keyboy here. One shot is able to get the heavy spin off, but that is the utility gone right before the Lord fight. RCC needs to buy some time as QP tries to find an angle, but Sans and Keyboy are there to keep them away. Royal Cybersport Club is just unable to do anything here. I think they just gotta clear waves, go back to base, but wait, no. Keyboy, you're not going back to base. I'm offended. I'm gonna pull you in, the Terrify, the knockup, and the destruction is there. The crossbow of Tang locks onto QP. They're gonna secure the kill. Onic gets the Lord, and one more along with it. Onic not gonna slow down. We got no breaks here. There's minions on your base, and we are ready to fight.
Look at Sans. Huge pressure. Just right there in the mid. The Lord's going to be barreling down. RCC going to have to mount up the greatest defense of their life at this point. Onic, the dog!
Oh, there it is, Keyboy with the flicker in. Was it a good play? Only time will tell because Troublemaker is back out. He's locking on to Albert. He takes him down with a dunk to the face. Castle now on the run as Troublemaker has ran out of the demonic force. He's going to get knocked up, tossed up. The violent Requiem, the damage. Troublemaker just trying to get away, but he can't do it today. Boots finds the monster kill. The Lord still coming in. Royal Cyber Esports Club needs to find an answer here. Weiser still on the map with no damage dealer like Albert left. Onic has to be careful the way they go in on this. Kyrie, nobody has an ultimate except for Keyboy, so Onic decides to back off.
Yeah, this is, I mean, Onic at this point, insane. But again, I was surprised that RCC was able to defend that, right? That was such a great play by Troublemaker to be able to lock down Albert, and that gave RCC time to breathe. This is the moment that they need to utilize to capitalize on. And again, if they could possibly take a Lord, that would give them even more breathing room. Onic needs to keep the pressure up. You have the gold lead. You might want to take out Troublemaker because he's causing a bit of trouble.
Yeah, look at his items right now. He's one item away from being fully stacked. This is where Royal Cyber Esports Club needed to be.
Exactly. And again, what a game. RCC not going down without a fight. Even it being 19-6. Right now, Onic, again, kind of freezing up the lanes. I like what they're doing here. They're controlling the Lord pit. And RCC, again, they're just trying to get as much as they can. Kind of taking a look at some of the items. Something that could be a key factor here. Again, Wanwan still doesn't even need boots at this point, which is a huge plus for them. But you got to watch out. We see that Weiser is now online. All items secured, Malefic Roar, Demon Hunter, Golden Staff, and Rose Gold Meter, which will allow them to survive in a fight if need be. Kind of looking at, we see immortalities being picked up by both sides, so it's going to be a battle, a strategic battle on who can get who. We're getting into the late game. Troublemaker actually dealing damage now with a dashy team that Onic has. The Lord is now the target. Do we see Onic maybe attempt a backdoor, or do we just completely fight over this Lord?
I think we got to fight over the Lord. Now, you were talking about the build on Weiser. War Barbie would be a happy man right now. He hated the tank build on the carry. Well, Weiser is bringing in the damage right now, and it does seem to be working out a little bit, but that means Weiser has to be careful. Could easily get one-shotted by Sans, could easily get taken out by Albert, or even Boots, if Boots is able to lock on to the back line with the bravest fighter. But here comes Keyboy, flickers in, use it all, just for Castle, and they find it. That's one down, and I think it's worth it, especially before a Lord. But here comes Troublemaker, causing trouble once again to the backside. Pops Winter Truncheon, still able to hold up, but Boots comes in delayed, and Albert finds the kill. The implosion onto two members, but might not be enough. RCC on the run. Albert holding the front line, does take a little bit of damage, but Weiser has to run away. Albert able to find the double kill. Can he make it a triple? Yes. Albert now holding the front line, looking for QP, looking for the Maniac, looking to finish things off the right way. The immortality pops. They're not going to waste any time. A Maniac for Albert to seal game number 1.